Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of E-Webstyle.
I'm Charles Lewis, your Internet Marketing Specialist.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We know that there's some people watching live. Thank you guys for watching live. Thank you for your patience, and as you can see, we are exactly on time.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. 'Cause, right as you said that, Bill to the back, he said it's always your fault.
Listening live and commenting. Thank you guys. You are listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. That is because of you and you
over there, right there.
You ducking under your desk. I see you right there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's cobwebs and
your
cords are tangled.
And bubble gum. The reason we're the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes is because you guys listen and because you guys write reviews. If you have not written a review, in fact, before we even talk about writing reviews, if you're in front of some sort of electronic device that has the ability to tweet, Facebook, +1, stumble,
dig it,
trip it.
Trip it. We should
Trip
trip
it.
it.
We could have a
falling
cross between Cheech and Chong and Bob and Doug McKenzie. Trip it.
Yeah.
Trip it, man. Anyway, get on to iTunes.
That was your Cheech impression?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually in basically a drugged out skit last Saturday on stage. It was really good. It was maybe a little inappropriate because I was like a stoned, like way stoned 6-year-old.
Oh wow!
But it was like anyway, therapeutic drugs. Unfortunately, no. It was anyway. So go on to iTunes, create an account, post a review, and then send us an email. And you can send us an email, podcast@e-webstyle.com. Send us that email. Let us know that you submitted a review, and we'll read your review on air. We'll give you a punch in the face. We actually have a sound effect with the punch based on this review. This is kind of cool. So this is.
Oh, I realized that you weren't tatted up today.
Yeah, yeah. I even took one off. I just felt like it was getting overdone.
Running out of room.
10 is enough. First one is actually from iTunes.
Start looking like Lil Wayne.
Yeah. I just need it like head to toe. Tats on the neck have to hurt. I have to think that it hurts really bad. What a great tool for helping grow a website. This is by stiverslegal.com. Yeah. It reads, what a great podcast. I started a new website to expand my law practice, and these guys gave me all the tips I need to start seeing my traffic grow along with my client base. Exciting and educational. And you'll be touching base with him today, right?
I touched base with him the other day. He says, man, Chuck, I watched the podcast. You guys are doing great. I guess I should go do a review.
Yep.
So appreciate that. Punch in the face to you. Adam, I'll reach out to you a little bit later.
Let's get. I'm going to skip that. I've got some more reviews to read, but I'm going to jump into news real quick.
Okay.
And before we get into news, do not forget we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers.
Yeah, we'll go get that.
And we have a mantra.
Don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche.
Yeah.
In news, I saw Best Buy. The comment of the article was, is Best Buy destined to go the way of Circuit City?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, this is something, it was probably about 8 years ago, somebody mentioned this. I heard it on the radio, and I started thinking about it, and this person on the radio was incredibly preachy about what you should and shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, I think it was Dr. Laura or something, she said, if you go to a store and preview a device and then go online and buy it, you're actually doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because, and if you think about it, we need Best Buy. Where are we going to go to play with our electronic gadgets and go check out TVs? So, it may be great that you're saving money by going to Best Buy and finding the right TV and then using your Amazon Prime and having it delivered the next day. But if you keep doing that, yes, that's going to push them to keep the prices low. But there's some level where they can't compete. If all you're doing is saving taxes, then you're penalizing a local company that is providing a legitimate service to you, the ability to see the TV, and you're ripping them off.
Well, I understand logic, but at the same time, as a consumer, it's not my problem. I You know what I'm saying? It's not my issue.
What do we do when Best Buy goes away?
Go to Fry's. But seriously, speaking of Fry's, maybe that's something Best Buy should consider. I think one of the reasons they're in that situation now is due to
so many
locations. I think, as a matter of fact, I read the article. They're sitting some of them down to come up with smaller mobile type centers, and so I think that they should.
I wouldn't think smaller mobile would help, right? If the concept is just to have one location and well, so if that trend continues though, then people go to Fry's and see the TV and then buy it from Amazon. I mean, obviously, it seems like Fry's business model is working, so maybe that's not too big a deal. But I think it's something that I had never thought about until I heard it, and it was frankly true about most things.
Life.
And it kind of opened my eyes, like, wow, they are providing a service. And if the service they're providing is access to see the equipment, and they don't get paid when you access to see the equipment, frankly, that's a business model that's going to go away. So I just thought that was worth mentioning. Google Drive is about to be launched, or it has been in beta or something, and it's similar to Dropbox. They're thinking that Google Drive is going to be free up to 5 gigs. Dropbox is free up to 2
gigs.
Yeah, and I was checking. I actually have a paid Dropbox account. It's at 6, so I could probably trim that out a little bit and switch over to Google Drive. And the HTC The One is coming out. I literally bought my new phone not too long ago and had debated waiting for it. I think it's still going to be a while before it's on Sprint, but it did get launched, and they were comparing the phone on the HTC to the phone on the iPhone, the camera, not the phone, the camera on the HTC. Yeah. Wow. I will take a sip of coffee now. And it will be quick because I have to read a couple reviews.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, Go Cloud Communications. This is on our Facebook page. By the way, you can find us on Facebook.com/E-Webstyle
or
Twitter.com/E-Webstyle or YouTube.com/E-Webstyle. And this one is on our Facebook page. It says, I listen to your podcast every week. I find you funny and informative and not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, I read that one.
You've given me a lot of good ideas for the various sites and online presence properties I manage. Thanks, guys. A big punch in the face to you. Boom. Back at you, Mr. Goat Cloud.
Goat Cloud.
Yeah, go check them out. Goat Cloud. He didn't leave. I'm assuming he's like goatcloudcommunications.com or something. And the next one is from Rhythm Passport Kia. First off, Kia, thanks for the CD. It's awesome. I've been listening
that CD. Okay, yeah.
It's really good. It's I got a lot of menu
kind of international. Yeah.
Yeah, very mellow. It'd be really good as background music for Trip It. Big shout out to you both, and a big right there, PITF, punch in the face.
Okay. That's sound effect. I thought you were spitting.
You really shouldn't spit on camera.
Yeah, that's kind of rude, Chris.
All the way from the UK.
Okay, yeah.
Been listening to your podcast on SEO. They are great, informative, and funny. Only discovering them about a week ago, but listened to about 10 already. Awesome. I submitted my
way to go.
I submitted my site. Yeah, we're on 143. Rhythmpassport.com. And actually, I spoke with him after he wrote this. I had a good long 1 hour conversation with him, and it was great. He's a guy who's got a passion about what he's doing, about his website, and that's always great to see. And I love international music, and so that's something that he's doing. Basically, it's a site where you can, if there's an international band playing in the London area, you can actually find out where they're playing on his website. Mm-hmm. He even breaks it down, so if you want to find a Senegalese artist who you may not even know the name of the artist, but you just want to hear some music from Senegal, you could pull up Senegal, and if there's an artist playing in London from Senegal, he'll have it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
And I think that's got opportunity to expand into the cities that could support it. Mm-hmm. I think Houston probably could support it.
Yeah, huge international situation here in Houston.
Yeah. Of course. So the first 4 largest cities in the U.S. You've got London, Paris, I'm sure. So it'd be a pretty niche little product, and so it was exciting to chat with him for about an hour, and and he paid me with a CD, which was really, really cool and really great music. I'm a fan of Manu Chao anyway, so that was great. All right, that's it. We have reached our Geno time limit.
Okay, so got a punch in the face to one of our. I think that's it.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Well, since I'm talking Twitter, first off, if you're in front of Twitter right now, or G Plus, or Facebook, or anything like that, go ahead and tag us at E-Webstyle. Let us know that you're watching this. Hashtag SEO Podcast 143. And then tag us at E-Webstyle. That way we can retweet you or whatever we want to do. The reason I use hashtags in G Plus and in Facebook, even though they're not...
They don't support it, right?
Because I think eventually they will.
Yeah.
I mean, and what I've realized that if I use a hashtag in a Facebook post or comment, and then I turn around and search, well, not in Facebook, I haven't noticed it there, but I have noticed it in G Plus. If I turn around and search for that hashtag,
like Google search for it,
search for it, those results will show.
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
Hashtag SEO Podcast 143. Talking Twitter, punch in the face to at Justin Romack. So he hit me up and he asked a couple questions, and so we'll answer those briefly. One of them was about places. How do you get your places page to rank for certain key phrases? And I'll go ahead and address that. First things first, complete your profile.
100%.
100%.
Probably 110, because add a little bit extra once, even when it says 100%. There's probably, I think, space for another image, space for another video, a little more text.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at a minimum, it's got to be 100. What Google considers 100% complete.
Now, and part two of that question was for certain key phrases. So what you do is, first off, make sure you use the categories that Google Places page already lists for your industries. Then they give you an option to add more categories, custom categories. Those custom categories should be keyword friendly and relative to what you offer.
Right.
And then, so do that, and fill out everything, and frankly, make sure your site is optimized well. Because as we talked about on the last podcast, that your Places page can show up with a internal link to your current website, and so your Places page has to be complete, and your site needs to be optimized fairly well. His second question was, how do you deal with negative publicity? And I'm kind of shortening it up.
Right,
he gave me a longer explanation. Guy had some bad press about his business. Since then, that's partially false.
Right.
And but it's when you search his company, that comes up.
We have a good example in our Google Places page.
Yeah.
One of the reviews says this service sucks.
Yeah, from Mo.
Something like that from Mo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way you deal with that is go ahead.
You call him and you say, "Is Seymour Butts there?" Mo. But
I'll get you.
But what you do is you have to suppress it. I mean, the only way you can get rid of bad pub is to get more good pub. And so, unfortunately, bad pub travels faster than good publicity does. But I would pursue better reviews.
Write a comment.
Yeah.
Right. Because
definitely respond to it.
Respond to that bad
with
review.
links. Get other industry people especially people who have maybe an authority in that certain area, who have a publication that people tend to read. Have them give you positive comments and reviews on it, and those will begin to kind of overshadow the bad pub. But make sure you address the bad pub. When people do see it, they also need to see your response.
It's reputation protection.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Take it for what it's worth, and let me know how that works out.
I forgot to give the tip from last podcast. Yeah, that wasn't a
no,
that was a
yeah,
which is the sound that you get when you kick somebody in the shins. The tip was
I thought you got an ouch.
That too. There's the sound and then the response. Spend time on your relative author tag to improve SERP visibility.
Yeah, the author tag. Briefly, we talked about that last week. That is when you search for something and your search engine results pages shows you listings, and next to those listings you may see an avatar. Avatar is usually pulled from your Google Plus profile, and what Google is doing is saying, well, what what has happened is they're showing your avatar because that's proved that you authored that particular article. And so in order to do that, you have to
go back and listen to podcasts.
What did we call it? We called it the
Bermuda Triangle.
No, that wasn't it.
Well, it started as the Bermuda Triangle of something. What do we call the relative author Bermuda Triangle?
Okay.
I wrote it down.
Okay. Well, yeah, what he said. But yeah, so you have to do that, and at the end of the day, it makes your search engine listing a little bit more visible.
Yeah, you've seen it where maybe there are a couple of authors with their avatars, and usually their avatars are pictures of the actual author. And those listings stand out. So take the time to go back and listen to podcast number 142. Figure out, frankly, you can Google it. Figure out how to do relative author tag and make sure it's done properly. There are ways to test it. And then when your results start showing up for those pages that you've actually spent the time to do the relative author tag on, your little avatar or an image of you will show up.
And so I had a few articles here. We kind of short on time, so we'll just do this one.
Okay.
This one's pretty cool. I pulled it from a Search Engine Journal from Melissa. How to maintain a good relationship with your SEO and web firm. Yeah.
Pay bill. Step one. Yeah.
But she put a few things on here, and one of the things I like to highlight is that first off, make sure that the firm you're dealing with is reputable.
Yeah.
Make sure that they actually know what they're doing and that it's worth, paying the bill.
Yep.
Don't do your research. Do your research on any company you deal with. If it's us or whoever, make sure that you're happy, gonna have a happy working relationship, and that they know what they're doing.
Yep.
So one of the things she says, number one was show respect. The more, the better. We have skills to create a foundation, and you should respect that. I agree, but the one thing I didn't really like about the article was that it was very one-sided.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, because I think you should use Reagan's trust and verify, right?
Yeah.
I respect you, and I also want to see results.
Yeah. So I think most of these should be a two-way street. We should respect the client.
Yeah.
Right. Because after all, they're a business owner. They're coming to us, and so we are mutually helping each other.
A good way to deal with clients. I in the book The E-Myth, it says the client is not always right, and it is our job to make sure the client feels like he's right. Right, so that pulls out, because everyone's like, what, the client isn't always right.
Yep.
And people keep this mantra of, the client's always right. No, they're not.
Yeah.
And you should make them feel like they are right, and that resolves all conflict. I think that's a great way to approach it.
Number two is don't be condescending. When you have behave in a condescending manner, you doom the relationship. I agree with this. I haven't experienced it here.
I think it's more likely to go the other way, right? I see like an SEO firm is more likely. You get a really talented SEO guy who just really is all his ducks in a row. He knows how to just knock it out of the park, and he might sit with somebody who doesn't know much. It's more likely he's going to be condescending to the client. So
well, what I've noticed, I haven't experienced that here, but at previous firms I worked at, clients who have some familiarity with SEO, like they've done it before, and frankly they think they know it.
Right.
They'll talk to you like I know more than you.
Yeah.
I'm paying you to do this. Go do it. Blah blah blah. And so don't do that because it won't work. Remember, you have responsibilities too. Yes, if you're a client and you come to us, I need your pictures. I need your content. I need you to have this conversation with me about your business. I need to know your target audience. I need to know your demographic. I need to know what you want to accomplish, throughout the term of this contract and the next 3 or 4 years after that. I need to know these things. So participate. It's your responsibility to give that information to your firm. Number 4, don't be an email or texting bully. People who, I get those, and what I'm quick to place a phone call immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Don't email me, beat me up, and then when I call you,
be nice to me. Yeah.
How was your day, Chuck?
Yeah.
No, don't do that. It's not a good look. I don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Man up. Let's see here. Don't expect hand holding in unlimited time.
Yeah.
You know, I agree with this one, but I think it's based on the client.
Mm-hmm.
If we get a lot of business owners who frankly aren't experienced with internet marketing, and so even though it's more time consuming, even though the amount of time spent may not be equal to what we're charging them, frankly, it's still worth doing that hand holding.
Right.
You know, just for the sake of educating the client and really it's building that relationship.
Well, and the goal is you do that in the beginning and you educate the client a little bit more, and that kind of tapers off as that relationship continues.
Yeah. Don't treat your SEO or web marketing person like an employee. It's a vendor. I think you should look at it as a vendor.
Yeah.
You pay UPS to ship your stuff. You pay Comcast for your internet services. You pay your web people for your marketing. And so,
was this comment relative to like asking them to do other things, like, can you make me coffee also?
Do you have unrealistic expectations, doing stuff that's not agreed upon? We're not your employee, we work for ourselves, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so, we don't have to reply to a phone call and email immediately.
Right.
So that sort of thing. You should get a response. We try to respond to everything, pretty quickly.
Right.
But yeah, if you email me at 9:59, I may not email you back at 10.
Right.
Maybe 11. But you'll get it.
And that's PM. He's really dedicated.
Yeah. Seriously, because I'll be up. I'll be up if I'm up and I get your email. I'll respond. So take this time to say excuse all typos and things like that.
Short messages.
Yeah, but I will respond. Keep in mind you're not the only client.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. Open your mind. I think this is a good one because some clients come in, business owners come in with this kind of preconceived notion of how it's going to work, what they should do. This is what you need to do, and I'm just paying y'all to do it.
Right.
When actually, I'm an expert. Chris is an expert. Like, we know what to do and why it's going to work.
And what not to do.
Yeah, and so, what'd you say? We'll give our recommendation, and then we'll do what you ask.
Yeah. We will vehemently support what we recommend, and then we'll do what the client wants. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll, tell you shouldn't put a picture of you and your dog on there, but if you demand it, then there will be a picture of you and your dog on there.
Yeah.
And then we'll change it after the month 2 when you realize you shouldn't have a picture of you and your dog on there.
That's the hand holding part where we can brainwash them slowly. No dog, no picture of you and your dog.
Mm-hmm. Number 10, don't expect advice for free. I disagree with that one.
Yeah, look at our podcast.
I know,
it's fundamentally different than what we think, how we think.
I think giving it, especially to a business owner, I think it's worth giving that advice. I think it's worth sharing tips and information that could help them. Frankly, that's how we get referrals. If you help people, then they'll respect that, they'll honor that, and compliment you with here's my friend who runs this business and he needs help with his Google stuff.
Right.
Is how they tend to say it. And so
and in my networking group I'm the Google guy, so I get the Google stuff.
So yeah, we give advice for free, man. This podcast is advice, frankly. If you like it, tweet about it. This one was kind of interesting. Don't ask your friends what they think about what we are doing. And so, but he went on, I think this is more web design related. Our web design is aimed at meeting the needs of your target markets, not to please you or your friends. And so I kind of concur, but I do feel like the client should be happy with what the final product is.
And frankly, the client's significant other should also be happy. I kind of, what you can say, like, you can put that on your list, and every client will show it to their friends. Like,
exactly.
That's not even worth including in the list, because what are they going to do? Hey, look at my new website. Friend, you look at my new website. And what's the friend going to do? We tend to look for flaws and things when we see them, and we're like, oh, they could fix this and this and this. So that's just going to happen. Take it off. Scratch that off the list.
Scratch that off the list. That's my virtual finger stylus scratch. So that was that list. So it's pretty cool. I think, I wanted to go through that because we're a firm and we deal with clients, lots of clients, and I was impressed by the list. Well, reading the list kind of impressed me about us. That makes sense here. Reading the list kind of impressed me about us because we don't follow that mode.
Right.
We give advice for free. We'll hold hand clients. We'll, based on salary alone, hold handing a client and walking them through a process, we'll probably lose money, frankly.
Right.
But if it's worth doing that for that business owner to understand, then it's worth doing.
Well, and our business model is the long-term
exactly.
Relationship with our clients, and so that hand-holding is what fosters that value that convinces the client to sign the next contract. And in 4 years' time, we may lose money in the first 6 months because we're doing so much hand-holding, and in 4 years, it makes us a really profitable company, and with a really solid customer base. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so got blanks there.
All right.
Mm-hmm. This is pose blank.
I think the fly landed on my eyeball.
Wow. Okay. So this blank stare is interesting because remember a few podcasts ago, blank stare was about Blackberry and how CEO got in and he said that he didn't think they needed to change.
We're good. We don't need to change it. What are you talking about? We're good. Have you looked at the chart? Is the chart you're looking at turned 90 degrees?
It's reversed. So everything that's going down is not going up. But so anyway, so their new CMO, a new CEO, and everybody came in. So they released their last quarter numbers.
Right.
Wow, it's not good. Revenue dropped $4.2 billion.
Wow. Like what percentage? Did it have a percentage on that?
18%.
Wow.
That's huge. Sales dropped 21%. But the article I read made a decent comment. It said that hopefully they're at the bottom. Meaning, once you're at the bottom, one thing you do is go up,
Isn't that what you should say after any massive loss?
Well,
hopefully we're at the bottom now.
The positive thing was Blackberry Playbook sales went up.
Right.
So 500,000 of them.
Wow.
And so the first comment was hilarious. In the comment, dude says, "Yes, I had I was a strong Blackberry user. I held on to it as long as I could. My job required me to get an iPhone. So at first, I was the guy walking around with two pistols. One, the 6-shooter Blackberry, and two, the ultra high-speed Glock iPhone." He said,
democulator.
Yeah, exactly. He said that over time, he began realizing that the iPhone had all of the features, plus some.
He realized he was reaching for the democulator and not the 6-shooter.
He said so now his 6-shooter sits on his nightstand and they just have awkward stares at each other.
I remember when I used to go with you.
The comment below him said, "Yeah, mine moved from the nightstand until inside the drawer now." And I just bust out laughing because mine is inside the drawer,
right by the nightstand,
right in the nightstand.
It's ready to go. It's ready.
It's loaded.
But
yeah, po Blackberry.
Oh well. And you liked the playbook, right? Like you were.
It was okay. I test drove one. Talking about Best Buy stuff, I test drove. I was a Blackberry fan, know, and so I'm Android tablet now, and Android phone, and probably soon to be
iPadding it. Yeah. Oh, that's my phone, the Galaxy S2 Android. I love it. It's an awesome phone. It's faster, thinner. It's an awesome phone, and the pictures are just phenomenal. It's crazy. So no longer need a point and shoot. Did we cover all of our? We did our Facebook. We did our Twitter. All right.
Yeah,
so
I think that's it.
You have been listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. This was podcast number 143. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure there's 2 places that you can put a review. We covered iTunes. Also go to e-webstyle.com/SEO podcast. Just under the videos, you'll see a Plus account. Go ahead and go there and submit a review. Only do that if you think you're getting value out of this podcast, or if we make you angry. And
if your name is not Mo.
Your name is not Mo. I will get you. Crank calling Bart. Actually, our whole network here is about Bart is Simpsons characters. We don't have a Mo. We need a Mo.
Do we?
No. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until the next podcast. My name is Chris Burris.
I'm Charles Lewis.
Bye bye for now.
We might need a Mo. Maybe a new server or something.